Timeless 106.1 FM, KFFB. This is Bob Connell. Thanks so much for joining us here on a special edition of Open Mic on this Monday morning. And also, we're going to be Monday afternoon because we're going to replay it this afternoon. But we do have Congressman French Hill with us right now. And Congressman, it has been a crazy past few days.
Well, it's been an amazing, unprecedented time, Bob, between the economic uncertainty due to the oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia and the coronavirus sweeping the country. So our country, I think, is coming together like no time since 9/11 to fight back against this common plague.
You know, that's something that I was doing a remote on Saturday in Cabot, and there was something that kind of went into the storyline of some of the younger people don't remember much of 9/11. There's many people that don't remember the Black Monday of 1987. I know you know it well, but one of my favorite stories of that is everybody was just like almost like 9/11 on that Black Monday. They didn't know what was going to happen. The stock market fell. They thought, are we going to go in a Great Depression? Are we going to be in soup lines? I mean, literally, we're talking like that. They asked Sam Walton, who lost billions that day and lost more than anybody, and they said, sir, what do you think about it? And he basically said it's just paper. That's not how he made his money. He makes his living through Walmart.
Well, I think we do have to be optimistic. When you have a public health crisis, it's important to overreact. I think that's a critical element, and I've been saying that since January. You want to shut down travel from China. You want to protect nursing homes in Seattle. You want to immediately take steps. I think America has done some good things. I believe President Trump was terrific in shutting down travel from China back on January 27th, just 2 weeks after we were first told the details about the Wuhan virus. But it has been slow to get testing out there around the country, and that is something that is ramping up this week, and I hope it brings real confidence to the country and brings some certainty to people as well.
Well, I noticed that the governor asked for the schools all to shut mandatory down on Tuesday. Most are closed today. There's a few that's open to help with child care. But when you look at the stage on Friday, that was really kind of shows America coming together when you had competitors on the same stage at the press conference with the president saying we're here to help.
Well, it was a public-private partnership. We were so proud to see Doug Mellon, their CEO of Walmart, front and center, offering parking lot space to do drive-through clinics, to have Google volunteer to do an online diagnostic tool for people to assess whether they should even be tested for coronavirus. All those things are a great partnership. I think the vice president's doing a good job in the face of such a challenging circumstance.
Now, one thing that happened as well on Saturday, I went to a franchise store, went inside and ate, and I've seen them clean the tables 3 times while I was sitting there and eating. I'm thinking it's the cleanest store I've ever seen. But we are really, as Americans, are coming together and saying, you know what, we can lick this. And that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't feel defeated at all. This is the most important thing we can do is each person practices good hygiene. If you have cold-like symptoms, you ought to stay home. You shouldn't go out and infect people. Really, the same view you would have if you had the flu. You would stay home. Getting these testing kits out more broadly, individual doctors and local medical clinics and all will have access to a faster test. But the best thing you can do is practice good hygiene. Wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. If you're sick and don't feel well, don't go out. Be very sensitive around older people. And if we all take those practices, we will beat the spread of this disease, and we will have better statistics than what we've seen in Italy, for example. But just today, I noticed right before our call, looking at the Financial Times, they're now reporting no new cases, even in Italy and some of the most affected areas. So it's been about 4 weeks, obviously been a little over 4 weeks in South Korea. They've also now seen the number of cases plateau and begin to be more controlled. So we're in that earlier phase here in the United States, and that's why each person doing their part will make a big difference.
Well, that's what I do to see different than 9/11. You know, there was an uncertainty, but almost everybody you talk to in our region, in this part of the state, feels like, hey, this is just going to be temporary. We're going to move on. And many parents say this is a great time for the schools to disinfect for 2 weeks. And that's another great opportunity. And all the local hospitals from Batesville to Clinton to Heber Springs and Searcy and Conway, Mountain View, they're all taking precautions. So, I mean, they're all ready for this, and I think that's what we're putting our game face on.
On Sunday afternoon, I spoke with Dr. Redfield, the CEO of the the CDC in Atlanta, and I also spoke with Greg Bledsoe, our Surgeon General here in Arkansas, Cam Patterson, the UAMS Chancellor of our med school. And Arkansas is ready, and Arkansas is coordinated. The CDC Director, Dr. Redfield, complimented Dr. Nate Smith, our Public Health Chief Officer here, for the good work being done in Arkansas. So I believe our medical community is ready for this to provide advice to both doctors and our families. And I think the testing will ramp up this week. We have the ability to do about 100 tests a day right now in Arkansas, and I think that will ramp up over the next 2 weeks, where we'll be doing several hundred a day and provide that confidence out to our medical professionals and families around the state.
Well, we do have the governor going to be speaking today at 11:15, so we'll have a press conference updating us, and the president's been doing multiple updates as well. So I think the communication is doing very well as we move on.
If people have basic questions, and really want to get some good data, the Arkansas Public Health website's quite good. They can just simply Google Arkansas Department of Health. But the coronavirus.gov site, coronavirus.gov site, G-O-V, is also very helpful with nationwide statistics and everything you need to do to be smart about taking care of your personal hygiene and your personal health, as well as that of your family.
And basically, this is like 2 weeks for snow. I've been saying that. We didn't have any bad weather. They have 10 days banked. So really, we're going to have an extended spring break.
I think for our schools and our teachers, it really has come at an okay time because of spring break being scheduled and the fact, as you say, we haven't used any snow days. So from being able to teach and help our kids, I think can do that in a smart way between now and the end of the school year. For many of our college students, for them, are going to be doing a lot of their remaining classwork online. So you're right, the timing is okay as it relates to trying to help families. I'm still concerned about child care issues for working parents, and the Congress has appropriated money and given direction to business to help everybody with paid leave for this in case you have to be quarantined or take time away because your kids are out of school. There's paid leave that's contemplated to help. And also the COVID test and any treatment related to it also, the government has appropriated money to help pay for those services if the insurance companies are not paying, although they volunteered to cover a lot of that expense as well.
Well, Congressman, thanks for taking time and talking with us. I'm really proud of America. They really come together. And as we've seen even Friday, all the competitors of pharmacies and Walmart and Target is saying, we're here to help. And that's what we like to hear.
You bet. Well, Arkansans will pull together and Americans will pull together. We'll beat this, and we'll look back on it and say we learned some lessons about how to have a better, more robust public health system.
We've been talking with Congressman French Hill with the 2nd Congressional District here in Arkansas on KFFB's Open Mic. You'll find this program at kffb.com and also on our YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, and be safe.